Now, they say you should not judge, and I fully agree with that. But putting players into tiers and saying that professional athletes are actually terrible, we're all about that, right? So it is the off season, and of course, this is tier and ranking season. That's a win dog, that's a loss. Great, easy elite, that whole thing, right? So decided to do that with the Vikings roster. Now, I'm not going to do every player on the 90-man roster because, frankly, a lot of them, yeah. But we did like roughly, what did we do? Like the top 60, 65 or so. So we separated the Vikings players into 6 categories. Elite, pretty good. Above average, and yes, I know it sounds weird, but pretty good is better than above average. Just is what it is. Average, below average, terrible. Actually, no, terrible. There you go. Respect Charles Barkley. Terrible, as well as Pat Elflein. Yeah. So, should we go from top to the bottom or bottom to top? Let's go bottom to top. So, enter the Pat Elflein tier. All right, so here we got Sean Mannion, Ben Gideon, and Pat Elflein. Pat Elflein, he is the absolute ground zero for the worst current NFL starter. I throw Ben Gideon in there as well. Gideon's a perfectly fine special teams player, but just trying to shoehorn him into weak side linebacker. And then everyone always points to his PFF grades and coverage, like, oh, his PFF grades and coverage are pretty good. Well, hashtag sample size. He plays like 7 defensive snaps a year now. But whatever. Sean Mannion. Again, the fact that Sean Mannion is employed where Cam Newton is not, I don't know, man. Nah. But don't get me started there. Next up, so this one hurts. But also, all right, so every single team, just like every organization, just like every group of people, is going to have a bell curve. So there's going to be a small amount of just absolutely atrocious people. There's going to be a good amount of elite people. And then in the middle, there's going to be just like, so again, bell curve. There you go. So in the terrible category, so we got Nate Stanley, Rashad Hill, Shamar Stephen, and Cameron Smith. And yes, we put rookies in here, even though, well, how can you judge a guy who's never played an NFL snap before? Because we can. Because we're not cowards here. Just like every single ranking is like, we don't know, TBD. Even though, yes, I had a TBD ranking in our quarterback tiers ranking. I understand that. I'm a hypocrite, whatever. So I got Nate Stanley in a terrible category. Got the big arm. I think that's all that it is. I mean, Rashad Hill, you can put Rashad Hill in below average. I mean, that's fine. I think he's probably the best of the terrible category. I mean, but he's a perfectly fine veteran swing starter, but I also feel like a youth movement, you could easily find a guy like Blake Brandell could potentially replace him. Shamar Stephen, I put Stephen in the terrible category because of the contract and the fact that he's just going to remain just because Patterson and Zimmer like him. But every time he's on the field, you're just like, every single snap that you play is a snap that you're taking away from Arwan Watts or Hercules Mataafa or some other up-and-coming good young player. Also, Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith was the only draft pick from the 2018 class who didn't make the initial 53-man roster. So, 5th-round pick out of USC. He had 12 rookies. 11 of them made the roster. You did not. That's rough. That is a tough go of it. So next up, you got below average, and this is average and below average and above average. So 3 averages are going to be the thickest strata. So you got Jalen Holmes, slightly below average. You want him to pan out some of that potential that made him a 4th-round pick at Ohio State, not so much. Jake Browning, you can put Jake Brown in the terrible category. I wouldn't be mad at you. You got Amir Abdullah as well, the former 2nd-round pick. He's great as a running back 4, receiving back, special teams guy. He's good, right? Courtney Davis, he could easily rise to average or even above average, depending on how he looks in camp. Chad Beebe, if, the best ability is availability. He hasn't shown that yet. Tyler Gronklin is Dakota Dozier is Davion Davis is my guy. Again, it could rise up. I think he has an opportunity in the return game. Don't necessarily hand it over to KJ Osborne quite yet. Brett Jones, you can put Brett Jones in average as well, which is fine. Just a decent utility interior offensive lineman that never got the time of day. Jaleel Johnson. I had big hope for Jaleel Johnson. 2017 mid-round pick coming out of Iowa. They never decided if they want him to be a 3-tech or a nose tackle. I think they just decided, like, hey, we're just going to make him Shamar Stephen, and that's what he's been, right? Also, Cheeseburger Eddie Yarbrough, who's fine, came over from believe it was from the Bills late last season. Nate Metters, second-year guy, former UDFA out of UCLA. Chris Boyd, the 7th-round pick. Now, if they move Chris Boyd to safety, then I think he could move into the average category. Brian Cole, the second. Last chance you. The cornerback from Mississippi State, who is technically a safety but plays more like a linebacker. Yeah, if he shows up and shows out, I think he can move into average. I like that he can hit. He can't cover for poop. But man, Neville Clark, the UDFA out of Central Florida, I think you could easily put Clark in the average category. It's fine. Stacey Keeley, second-year UDFA from UAB. He's tall. Also Josh Metellus. Actually, no, I'm gonna put Josh Metellus in the average category. Nah, that one didn't quite sit right with me. There we go. Actually, oh no. 44. Josh Metellus. There we go. Aviante Collins, Dylan Mitchell, Brandon Dillon in the below average category. Brandon Dillon, maybe if he gets the time of day, he's a great receiver. The Marion Barbarian, maybe he can move to average. That's fine. But average, here we go. All right, so we got Mike Boone. He's a great third running back. You really like his skill set in the zone scheme. I think he's a nice change of pace from Dalvin and Madison. He's right up in there. KJ Osborne, bit TBD. But I think he's underrated as a receiver. I mean, the skill set is obvious there in the return game. That's why they took him in the 5th round over some more heralded potential wide receivers there. Tajay Sharp, again, never got the time of day in Tennessee. I think he could show up and show out here as a potential wide receiver 3-4. Troy Dye, the coverage linebacker out of Oregon. Let's get it going. It's going to be a special teams monster right away. Kyle Rudolph, respect what he did last year. Is he starting to age out a little bit? Is it starting to be the Irv Smith show? Could be. I got Kyle Hinton, the 7th-round pick out of the Washburn University. Go Ichabods. They're going to try him out at center. I think he's going to be interior offensive lineman. I wouldn't be shocked if he's eventually starting somewhere in this league. Also, you got Riley Reif. Yeah. Also, Hercules Mata-Afa. Is this the year? Is this the year that Herc has added weight? Another year removed from that ACL, revved up, ready to go. Is he finally ready to pan out on some of that potential that you saw at Washington? Just the whirling dervish, just that rolling ball of knives coming in and just destroying fools from the 3-tech spot. I would love to see it. Drusomia Olu-Udo, they could easily project into the above average category if they secure a starting spot and show up the season. Got James Lynch, the 4th-round pick coming out of Baylor. Could easily put him in the above average category once he shows up and shows out as well. Same thing, Blake Brandel. I think Blake Brandel actually could be the replacement for Rashad Hill. Be that swing backup tackle for the next couple of years. Could be good to go there. Kenny Willekes, 7th-round pick, Michigan State, the Rudy of the team. He's the Rudy of the team, even though the Vikings have a Rudy from Notre Dame on the team, which is ironic. But yeah, Willekes, the heart and hustle, getting after it. Also, same thing with Anthony Zettel. Anthony Barr, average. Controversy. But I stand by it. Josh Metellus bumped up from below average to average because it didn't sit right with me. Eric Wilson, special teams dynamo. I think he should be the special teams captain this year. Holton Hill, where we've seen some flashes of Holton Hill that he can be in the above average category. Hopefully it'll pan out. Same thing with Harrison Hand coming in from Temple by way of Baylor. There you go. So now above average. Feels good. Alexander Madison, I actually do think that if the Vikings ever got rid of Dalvin, that he would thrive in the outside zone scheme, improve his pass protection a little bit, and he could be an every down running back. Justin Jefferson, Justin L. Hefferson, coming in 1st-round pick, de facto replacing Diggs. I think he'll be a monster over the middle. BC Johnson as well, former 7th-round pick out of Colorado State, stepping up in year 2. Had himself a great season for a 7th-round pick as a rookie. I think there's ample opportunity here as Jefferson tries to get his legs under him, as Tajay Sharp tries to learn the offense. That BC Johnson, year 2, same system. Obviously has some chemistry with Cousins. I think that he could really step up. Britton Skullquit. Almost mispronounced it. Irv Smith Jr., I think he's going to go boom in year 2. Garrett Bradbury took his lumps early on, but finished strong the last part of his rookie year. I think that in a perfect scheme for him, added size as well this offseason will really benefit him. Ezra, 2nd-round pick, future left tackle of the Vikings. I would start him right now, but that's just me. Fadio Denebo, where in spot duty last year as a rotation, both inside as well as inside, Well, inside as well as outside, nailed it. Putting up 8 sacks and just getting after with unbelievable pressure. He's selfless. He's a team first guy. He plays the run well. I think he's ready to start. Even if Everson returns, I think Afadi should be starting opposite Daniil Hunter. Also, Armand for Watts. This is a bit of projecting, but if they do give Armand Watts a lot more snaps in the inside, now he doesn't have to start on paper, but if he gets the bulk of the work of that 3-tech job, sky's the limit. As well as DJ Wanham. I'm very intrigued about DJ Wanham to see what he's going to be in the next couple of years. Now, is it going to be Daniil? Is it going to be Anthony Barr? Is it going to be a hybrid? Is he going to do all that things? Yeah, it certainly has the potential in all aspects. Hold me closer, Cameron Dantzler. He's got the length. He's got the feistiness. I think Gladney's going to be great. I love Jeff Gladney. I love El Jefe coming out of TCU. But if you told me that Cameron Dantzler is going to be the best cornerback of this draft class, I mean, it wouldn't shock me. And again, that's no aspersion on Jeff Gladney. I just think Dantzler, with his size and his length, has just unbelievable potential, especially in this division against the receivers that they have to go up against. As well as Dan Bailey. Good job. Next, the pretty good category. So, Kirk Cousins. Now, this one may be controversial, but I think last year Cousins played phenomenally well, especially in October, especially the wild card game. Now, if he can extrapolate that over a full season, it's the first time that he's going to be in the same offense in a number of years, which is great. And also, I'll run first team with a couple of opportunities off of play action, a couple deep shots. Hopefully, I think that really fits into what Kirk Cousins wants to do. CJ Ham is probably the best fullback in the league. Sorry, Kyle used. Check. He really is leading the way for Dalvin, as well as an underrated receiver. As I burp and die. Is that you, Rana? Actually, wait. Maybe I am. Yeah. But Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen, rebounding after that hamstring injury plague season of 2019. He's going to come back. The Empire strikes back. Bring it on 19. Clear-cut wide receiver 1 now. Let's go. Also, Brian O'Neill developing to one of the best young right tackles in the league. Really love and respect the way that he's really embraced his role in the scheme, as well as, I mean, he's just athletic as hell, and I love it. Also, putting in Michael Pierce. Ooh. Oh, you mean the 2-down nose tackle from Baltimore? No, I think his role is going to expand. I think that this could be the second coming of Linval. I think he's really going to contribute in a lot of ways, more than just being a 2-down run stuffer at that nose spot. And finally, the elite, the creme de la creme, even though there is more elite than pretty good. I get it. But Dalvin Cook, if he stays healthy, full 16-game season, he's one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best. Sorry, Chris McCaffrey. Oh, they say he's a wide receiver, so he does not count. Boom. Suck it, Zeke. Suck it, Saquon. Boom. Also, Daniil Hunter. Daniil Hunter, just massive amounts of disrespect. For me, he is easily a top 3 edge rusher in the game right now, if not the best. Also, just underrated, underappreciated by the national media jabronis. It is what it is. I think that he will lead the league in sacks. He will lead the league in pressures. He will eventually break the career sack list. Sorry, Bruce Smith, in your face. Love 99, as well as Eric Kendricks. Just the coverage skills that you saw last year, plus the sure-handed tackling. He really is taking up the mantle of Luke Kuechly as the best 4-3 inside linebacker in the game. Plus Anthony Harrison Smith, the best safety duo in the league for a reason, as well as Austin Cutting. He's a great long snapper. There you go. So that is it. That is our tiers for the Vikings roster right now. Do you agree with our tiers? Do you disagree? What would you change? Let us know in the comment section below. I love when you guys do that. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, put a couple shekels in that Venmo, baby. And then give us a follow on social media as well. But till next time, Skol, production value.